This is Josh Brigette with JTV Sports here with head coach David Messer of Hanover Horton Comets here at Media Day. Coach, coming off of one of the best years in Hanover Horton's history, 8-2, Cascades West champions, lost a tough one in the Cascades Conference Championship game, and then you lost your playoff game. I know this team has great aspirations to win that first school playoff game. Just talk about what the success of last year has meant for your team in the offseason this year.
Well, I think that the confidence that we've gained in that, hey, Hanover Horton can win football games, Hanover Horton can play for a conference championship, I think has fueled this year's senior group to try to exceed last year's success. I mean, last year was a lot of fun for them. But, you know, the two losses at the end, I think, left a bad taste in everybody's mouth. And, you know, instead of talking about, you know, how great we were last year, the talk has been more about, hey, what can we do to get to the next step this year?
And that success has brought more interest in the program from a participation standpoint, and I think more buy-in from your players. Just talk about this offseason, how you've seen more people show up and how they've shown up more consistently for you.
Well, we went to a Trine camp this summer over in Trine University. We went to a wing T camp over there, and I was hoping to take, 14, 15, 16 guys. We ended up with 36, I think, went, which just blew my mind, which is a testament to these kids and their parents because it wasn't free. And I think we've really started to turn the corner on how many kids are coming to the summer things. This year is probably double what last year looked like. And, last year I was kind of excited because that was the best summer. And this summer's been probably twice as good as last summer. And, it just has to do with our senior leadership and the fact that they do want to take that next step. And the attitudes have been amazing so far this summer, and I don't see any reason to think that that's going to change.
That's great to hear. So you go to a wing T camp. We're used to seeing a wing T out at Hanover Horton. Talk about what we should expect from an offensive standpoint this year. You return about 6 starters from last year's squad. You got to replace your quarterback, but you got a lot of your key skill position players coming back. Just talk about what we should see on offense.
Well, our backfield is pretty loaded. We bring our whole backfield back, and then we bring a couple more guys that were on JV last year. I mean, Colin Griffiths came up, played a couple of varsity games with us and did really well. So you add him to Lucas Nadell and Austin Hochter and A.J. Fielder and Ledger Inman and J.J. Russ was a first-year varsity guy last year who didn't play as a freshman, and he was just finding himself, and then he got hurt, missed the rest of the season. So all those guys together are going to be a lot for any defense to have to be able to stop 5 or 6 guys that are capable of taking it the distance. And our offensive line is pretty intact. I mean, we lost a few guys, but the Trine camp and the wing T philosophy that they're selling over there is a little bit different than what we've been doing. And I think we're going to be more of a pure wing T team, which I think from a blocking perspective is going to make us a much better football team. A lot of guys, a lot of people looked at what we did last year. Yeah, you scored 30, 40 points a game. But on film, we always had a lot of things to clean up. And I think this new wing T philosophy is going to help us clean those things up.
If you're going to win a Cascades Conference Championship, you have to do it on the defensive side. You return 8 returning starters from last season. Can you talk about your expectations for your defense this year?
I'm pretty excited about this group because most of them come back, and we got to replace both outside linebackers, one defensive lineman. That's everybody else is pretty experienced. We're going to have more depth, than we had last year to be able to rotate some guys through and give some guys breaks. I felt like last year was the most physical team that I had since I've been at Hanover Horton. But I think for us to take that next step, we need to be even a little bit more physical. I think we had 3 or 4 shutouts last year, but at times we weren't as physical as we probably should have been or could have been. And I think we need to be more consistent on the physicality portion of it. These guys pretty much understand what we're trying to do defensively. We just need to be able to take that physicality to another level.
In addition to being more physical, what does this team need to do over the next month or so to get ready for Monroe Jefferson week 1?
I think consistency right now because, as far as, the culture, the camaraderie, the love for one another. We've already achieved that for the most part. The attendance to Trine was amazing. The attendance to this week's Hanover Horton camp has been amazing, and no crying, no whining. I mean, it's just a bunch of guys who love being around each other. So I think consistency, picking up the new things that we learned this year, and making sure that we are consistent with that and our new blocking schemes. If we can continue to improve on that, I think we'll be ready for Monroe Jefferson. I think they're going to be a lot better football team than they were last year. They didn't have any seniors, so we're pretty excited. And our early schedule is actually pretty rough, and so we got to be ready week one. And I think that we will be, based on the consistency that I've seen thus far.
Coach, last thing, let's learn a little bit more about you personally. This summer, what's been your most memorable moment of the summer?
Most memorable moment of the summer. I honestly, the Trine camp, and I know that's still related to football. It just blew me away. The community support that we got behind that, the number of kids that went to that, it exceeded my expectations by a lot, and that just tells me how much these kids want to be a better football team.
Head coach David Messer of the Hanover Horton Comets. They're going to face Monroe Jefferson week one, and then they'll start Cascades Conference play against Napoleon. Coach, best of luck.
Thank you, sir.